Alright guys, how's it going today? So for today's project and a little tip, what I'm going to try and do is make a shader for my GPS, because a lot of times I'm standing up on the kayak and that means I will tilt the GPS. Instead of from an angle like this, I'll tilt it back like that, which means that light's coming in from whatever angle. It makes it real difficult to kind of see that screen. And then the other thing is, I do get a lot of water drops on the screen, and if you've used one of these before, you know that water drops on your screen makes it really difficult to kind of see. So it's going to basically serve two purposes here. One, kind of keep water off of the screen, and of course the shader factor of it too. You know, a lot of times I'm fishing out in the middle of the day, and you know, I want just a little bit something versus having to reach up there and kind of cover it with my hand. So if you'll remember from my last little project here, the X grip, I've got that on there so that I'm not dropping my phone in the water anymore. So there it is with just the life-proof case. And of course what's cool about this is it's on a ram arm, so I can adjust it wherever I want, but as I move the GPS angle, whatever I might do with that GPS, that phone is going to go right with it. So that'll be pretty nifty. So to kind of get started here, what I've done is I've taken a piece of cardboard and I've already cut a template. So basically I took it, it's just under 24 inches long, and I found my creases, and in this case on this particular unit it's at 9 1/4 inches, and so I've got my little crease there. You can see where my sides will come in at an angle like that, and then if you look at the back pieces here, I've got them cut at 45s, and then those will run down the back side. I see a lot of people do Velcro to kind of hold it on. I might do that, but more than likely what I'm going to do, if you look at the back of the Hook7, or any Lowrance for that fact, you got those brass inserts right there. And that's for flush mounting this unit. And so what I'll probably do is, because I'm going to be doing this out of plastic, is I'll go ahead and utilize those and throw some screws in there to kind of hold it in place. And I think that'll just that'll hold up a lot better for me in case I bump it or knock it or anything like that. So let me hold this in place so you can kind of see what it'll look like. So essentially, that will be the GPS unit right there, and it'll provide me a little bit of shade. Of course, I'll spray paint the inside black as well to kind of cut down on that glare. It's got a tapered side to it, and it's the exact width of the actual GPS. And then on the back side, there'll be just a little bit of overlap. You can kind of see where that one brass screw is, and that's where I'll end up screwing these in the back. And so that'll work out perfect. Of course, it won't interfere with the X grip there on the side, and it should work out perfect. Okay, so what I'm actually going to use to make this, this is just cardboard template that would never hold up in the water, but it gives me a pattern to cut out. So I just got back from Walmart looking for a piece of plastic, and I found this giant tub right here. So what it is a 30-inch by 19 1/8 by 13 3/8 inches. It's a 90-quart, 88-liter plastic tub. And so what's nice about this is this pattern right here, you'll see I can do this multiple times. So I get a chance to mess up on this if it doesn't quite work out. So that ought to be perfect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take the raw dimensions of this before I started cutting and trimming and all that. I'm going to measure that out. I'm going to take a pair of tin snips and I'm going to cut that shape out of this piece of plastic while I sit here. And once I get that done, then I'm going to go ahead and take the square. I'm going to real carefully measure everything out perfectly, and then I'm going to start to make my neck shape, basically that shape pattern right there. When I'm done with that shape pattern, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a razor blade and I'm going to score the outside so that the plastic will bend. And I'm going to go ahead and make all of my little score marks with it. It's going to be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 score marks, and that'll allow me to kind of fold this into place. And it'll take a while to kind of bend it and manipulate it and kind of get it to hold its particular shape. Once I get that, then I'll give it a coat of spray paint, let it dry, and then we will try to screw this onto the back of the GPS and see how it works out. Alright, so I'm not going to make y'all sit here and watch me cut this out, but I'm going to get started cutting it, and we'll show you what I got whenever I'm done with that. Alright guys, so I really carefully measured everything out, make sure it was exactly the way I wanted it, and it was perfect dimensions, a little bit better cut out than, say, that cardboard piece. And I started off by using tin snips. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but it's a pretty heavy pair of scissors, and it was actually cracking the plastic, that tub. So that wasn't going to work out. So I ran back downstairs, grabbed the Dremel real quick out of the garage, and brought that up, and was able to trace very, very well, very, very neatly the piece of plastic that I needed. And it did a great job, actually. I'm pretty impressed with it. Plastic's easy to cut with the Dremel with a little cutoff wheel, but you got to keep in mind it melts it as it cuts it. So I do have kind of an unsmooth edge. It's a straight edge, but it's still a little unsmooth, so I need to hit it with a sander just real quick. Of course, it continues to melt whenever you sand it. So I'm just going to do all that by hand. I'm probably not going to do it tonight just because the night's kind of winding down already. It's 10:30 at night, and I got dinner on the stove. So I'm going to go ahead and finish it up tomorrow, sand it up a little bit, and then you can see where I've already started to make my marks on here, where I'm going to make cuts and stuff like that so that I can kind of fold this. I'll just take a utility knife and basically cut right down those lines, and then I need to go ahead and put my other line that's going to run right across the back there. And then once I do that, if I get it all mocked up, it looks good, I'll go ahead and spray paint at that point. So stay tuned, guys. We'll take a look at this tomorrow, kind of see what kind of progress we make, and hopefully we'll be at the point where spray painting, kind of get it black. Might do something black and green, kind of match the kayak. I haven't really decided yet. I really didn't take too much time and look around for paint today. It was kind of a last minute project I wanted to start working on at 9 o'clock at night. So got the piece mocked up already. We'll sand it and we'll kind of go from there. So we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Alright guys, so like we talked about yesterday, I said I was going to start shaping it and kind of getting it finished cut. We did the rough cut yesterday, but today I went ahead and knocked out all the shaping of it. So it wasn't too bad, actually. You know, I was afraid I was going to kind of crack it the entire time, but what I did is wherever I needed to make a cut, I went ahead and scored it with a pocket knife, razor blade, utility knife, whatever you might need, and I just went ahead and scored it, and then I ran a lighter on both sides of that score. That's why it's kind of turned black, and that's from running a lighter underneath it. But what it's given me now is the exact shape, and it holds its shape. So that's what's awesome, is now, you know, you hold it in place, you let it cool off in that shape, and so now I've got my lips that go around the back side there, cut at 45s, and then of course I got the top piece in the shader that'll go on. So, you know, if you measured everything right, whenever you go to slip it on, it will sit on top of that unit just like that. So that actually worked out really, really well. It covers up the back of the unit. You can see where it's kind of sitting on there. It's not going to be able to work with those brass fittings like I thought, because the brass fitting is so far under. So I will go ahead and go with the Velcro method, but that gives me complete shade all the way around at all the different angles, and I still have easy access to all the buttons, and you know, it's plastic, so it's not going to go bad, it's not going to rust, it's nothing to worry about. I'll be in really good shape. So pretty exciting there. So I got that knocked out right now on my lunch break. Headed back to work. So when I get back home tonight, what I'll do is I'll kind of sand all my edges, make sure they're nice and smooth, rough it up a little bit, and then I'll throw a coat of spray paint on this so that I actually get the shade that I'm looking for. Alright guys, so you can see I got the GPS back on the kayak. I got the shader here on top of it. It's kind of hard to tell at that angle, but we'll do a walk around here in a second. Of course, I've got the cell phone mounted up right next to it here. So it's really nice. I've got these units that kind of go together in unison wherever I need them to go. I did learn a couple interesting things. Whenever I spray painted this plastic, it made it extremely weak. And so it did crack in one spot on me. You know, that's kind of a bummer after some work trying to get it all folded up, all that, to have it crack. So I stopped it real quick, went ahead and put that duct tape reinforcement right on these two seams, and fixed it up just as well. I did go ahead and run across the top in 2 different places, Velcro, and on the back side here, I did a little bit of Velcro as well. So let me grab the phone real quick and do kind of a close-up here so you can see what I'm talking about as far as how it's mounted up to the kayak. All right, I know it's dark in here, but you can see that shader that comes up across it. So it is going to provide ample amount of shading for it. And then if you spin it around here on the back side and look at it, you can see where It is cut to go in here, so I've got right in these two locations Velcro on the top, and then on the back side here I've got Velcro right here on this seam, and that holds it on there really well. So I think that's going to work out perfect. You know, here's kind of a view from right in the center where I'm at. You can see, you know, everything's kind of centrally located, very easy for me to reach, and so I am pretty excited about that. Alright guys, so if you got any questions about how I did the shader, I kind of did the step-by-step here for you. I'm not going to put a list of materials. I mean, it is a giant Rubbermaid container from Walmart for $7, so that's pretty easy to find those. Black duct tape is easy to find, and a pocket knife to kind of score the plastic is all I really used. If you do have comments or other than material lists, you know, holler at me. I'll do whatever I can to help you out. I can send you pictures, things like that. If you've got suggestions for videos coming up in the future, now that I've got that kind of laid out, don't know what the next project is, but I might be putting some lights here on the side of the kayak so I can do a little bit more night fishing. You know, it's 115 degrees during the day here. I got a vacation coming up. I'll be doing a lot of fishing over the break, and hopefully I can bring you some great videos. I got a bunch of new baits coming out, so we'll do our new unboxing tomorrow of some new baits that are coming in from TW, and I did pick up a couple today at work that are pretty interesting. So I'll kind of do a new tackle day tomorrow for you and get that released. Otherwise, please don't forget, red button down here in the corner, make it gray. Hit the thumbs up for me and comment below if you got any questions, comments, or what you'd like to see. Thanks guys.